one thing that you can learn and you can grab is that a failure is only a failure if you quit. You can't lose unless you stop trying. Failures is just a lesson before the blessing. God is cultivating us. A lot of times we go to ourselves and we're sitting there thinking, why am I going through this valley? Why am I going through this failure? And God's going, listen, I'm cultivating you if you'll allow me to create you to be the man or the woman I've called you to be. Here's the thing about the valley, guys. That's where all the fruit's grown. Everything's grown in the valley. Everybody wants to be on the mountaintop. You know what the mountaintop is? It's a really good view, but it's cold and you freeze. If you don't have the right gear, if you don't prepare yourself for the mountaintop, you're gonna go up there and it's short-lived. But if you understand the valley, you work in your failures, you get cultivated the way you're supposed to be cultivated, you get sharpened the way you're supposed to get sharpened, you take the fruit to the mountaintop so that you can enjoy it. Now here's the kicker. You know what the top of the mountain is? The bottom of the next one. Because God says it. He takes us from glory to glory. What is glory to glory? More maturity. He said it. Success isn't the money. Success is the wisdom that you're getting through the cultivation process. So from glory to glory is just more maturity and more wisdom so that you're more mature to enjoy the next mountain. Now, here's the thing about it. Winners win, but we've got to operate in humility. For those who humble themselves will be exalted, but those who exalt themselves will be humbled. As we're winning and we're going through our third valley, we need to learn to teach the next person how to get through their valley. We don't need to hold on to the information and the wisdom that we learned. We need the Rick Johnsons of our lives. We need the people in our lives to understand the trenches that they've been in. You need to speak about the problems that you've had and how you've overcome them. Not say, well, I had to deal with this, so let them deal with it too. Because that tends to happen. That tends to happen as you begin to grow and get in the mountain. Well, I had to suffer, so I need to let them suffer too. No, you need to grow so they don't have to suffer as much, so you can give them the wisdom that you were so graciously given. The cup's got to overflow. And that's what this event's about today, overflowing. The more that I get from God, the more wisdom he gives me, the great people like Rick Johnson he puts in my life. When Rick gives me a nugget, I don't hold on to it. I want it to flow. Because as that cup fills up and flows, the junk goes out with it, and so does the good. But if I hold on to all the good and I keep it tight on my cup, guess what? The flow stops. Y'all ever see what stagnant water looks like? Begins to grow, stink, and you wonder why, and you're just walking around like, oh, I had to go through a hard time, so should they. And you walk around stinking, right? We know that guy. But do we want to be that guy? I want to be like the people that spoke here today and just let it flow. Father, fill my cup. Let it flow. As I grow, let me help them grow. Because I want to keep going through the cultivation process, even though I don't want to go through the cultivation process. But the more people that I can help through their cultivation process, when I'm in mine, they're going to help me. See how that works? So we need to learn to celebrate our failures. Be transparent. Be transparent. You're not the only one going through this. You're not. I'm sorry, you're just not that special. You're that special, but you're not. You're not the only one with depression. You're not the only one with anxiety. You're not the only one with thoughts of failure. There's somebody that's successful in your eyes that's went through all of it too. And your problems are going to be someone else's success story one day, if we'll learn to celebrate it. Jesus said this, count the cost. And a lot of times that's what we don't do. We don't count the cost. We see everybody's like, yeah, when Rick says, and I get a check, and everyone's like, yeah. That's what we see. But we don't see the cost. We don't see the two sons that are eating him out of house and home, and he's like, man, I'm in debt. We don't see, I have a dream, but I'm willing to jump off the mountain and build the plane on the way down. We don't see his wife praying over him because they're worried about making payroll. So as you go into your next season in life, That's the question I'm going to ask you. Have you actually counted the cost? Have you sat down and said, what is it taking me now to be where I'm at today? And what is it going to cost me to get where God's called me to be? And then answer your question, do I want to do it? We got to learn to count the cost. We've got to learn to see forward. My people perish for a lack of vision. Father God, what is your vision for my life? That's where I want to walk. I want to walk in his abundance. I want to go and be fruitful and multiply, right? But what's the cost?